What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we are going to review Mortal Kombat! Alright, let's jump right into a quick intro. Cole Young has been chosen to fight a deadly tournament to protect Earthrealm from the evil realm of Outworld. He'll have to team up with Sonya Blade, Jax, and other champions if they're going to prevail against Shang Tsung's warriors. Okay, enough of that, let's get right into the good.
The good.
One thing you have got to love about this movie is that it gets right into the thick of things. I loved how this movie did not shy away from the fact that people just have powers, and that's just the way things are in these realms, and even more powerful individuals exist. This immediately opens up the door for the film to dive right into the mythology of the Mortal Kombat property. Speaking of which, Mortal Kombat delivered on several new concepts that helped to expand the world building. We learned how people are chosen to become champions of Earth and how their powers form. I thought this was a good piece of exposition that served both fans and newcomers to the movie. Now, as for fans, there is so much fan service in this movie, you just can't help but to have a grin on your face when things happen. As promised by the trailers, the gratuitous violence is prevalent from beginning to end. We even got some classic fatalities straight from the video game. Now, when it comes to the characters, there are some favorites to be considered here. Lewis Tan, who plays Cole Young, does a commendable job in this film, especially given the fact that he's able to do many of his own stunts. One of the better characters that will immediately capture audiences will be Kung Lao. I thought he had some nice memorable moments in the film. But it might be fair to say, the absolute best character in this entire movie is Sub-Zero. To say that this man was cold-blooded is well worth the price of a corny pun. I'm telling you, this man was ruthless, and I was here for every minute of it. I mean, every time he showed up, the mood would just change because his presence was that terrifying. His fight scenes were among the best in the movie, and it was such a treat to see him perform some of his classic moves from the video game. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
Now, take the following critiques with a grain of salt. They're minor, they're nitpicks in some cases, but they are still worth noting. With that said, I wasn't a fan of how cheesy some of the moments in this movie got because it really just never needed to be. What I mean is, there were times when it would sacrifice a really tense and dramatic scene, all for the sake of just adding a video game catchphrase. For example, it's fine if a spectator or a moderator of the fight, is flawless victory. Versus the actual fighter, after they win, they say flawless victory. I mean, it really just comes off as a cliche moment in the movie where it's kind of you could put this in a little bit more organically. And guess what? We've seen examples of that in the original Mortal Kombat movie. But if we're staying in this lane, one of my least favorite characters was actually Kano. My only critique is that they didn't need him to be the total comic relief in the movie. There were times I wish he kind of just dialed it back a little bit here or there. When it came to his one-liners, for me, it was kind of hit or miss. Now, that's not to say that Kano was terrible or a bad actor or anything like that. I thought he was actually still entertaining and rather consistent with the actual character from the video game. Like I said, I just thought they could dial it back a little bit. Now, moving on, while this might not be the movie's fault, I have to say the marketing for this movie, especially the trailers, really messed up. They went way too far in spoiling the movie. They gave away a pivotal scene in the film that was supposed to be kind of like a surprise at the end. As a result, while you're watching things play out, the moment the characters go to a certain location, you already know what's gonna happen. That was a bit disappointing because it would have been a really cool reveal had the trailers not completely ruined it. On a separate note, even the big moment at the end, it wasn't even explained very well. It felt kind of like it was just shoehorned in because, people have been waiting to see that moment. Last but not least, I was let down by the music. I mean, come on now. You got one job if you're a Mortal Kombat movie. Play the original classic music. That's all you gotta do. You don't need any remix or sample or, different alternative version. No, you don't need none of that. Just play the original classic music. Now, that is not to say that they didn't put that music into the film. They did. However, it was cut short. Imagine you're in the club, the DJ puts on your favorite song, and right when the beat is about to drop, they cut it off. I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? Let the music play. It was just such a wasted opportunity right there. Anyway, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
Mortal Kombat is a violent and entertaining ride that fans have been waiting for. It's got a lot of room for improvement, but it soars over the extremely low bar of Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation. Obviously, when it comes to the special effects and violence, this reboot could supersede the original 1995 movie to some degree. Personally, the original movie still holds a very special place in my heart, even though I get it, it's probably not the best made. Anyway, when it comes to the rating for Mortal Kombat, I've got to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, hopefully, if this movie is successful and they have more sequels greenlit, I hope that they do work on some of the issues I listed previously. I mean, there really is a lot of potential with this movie and future films if they just kind of took themselves a little bit more seriously. Now, despite whatever flaws I might have pointed out, I honestly don't think that's going to be a big deal for a lot of people. You are coming into this movie for the nostalgia of the video games and the bloody violence, and it absolutely delivers on that aspect. I would recommend that when you approach this film, you want to go in kind of with the similar mindset that you would with Godzilla vs. Kong. Oh, and by the way, there's no post-credit scene, so don't bother waiting. Anyway, do you plan on watching Mortal Kombat? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know in the comments down below. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch my video, and if you got some time, go check out some of my other videos as well. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.